and get me a voucher so that I can go and get my burger. So I might just fly up.
You should.
I'm just going to come up and get one. Yeah, let's just do a little appearance over there at George Webb.
That'd be amazing. I got to figure it out because I'm leaving town Saturday. So, like, they're having their announcement at noon today. What if the vouchers are being handed out on Saturday or Sunday? Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't either. I mean, I think you cancel all plans and you just make sure that you get that burger.
Well, and we just talked about
Or at least get the voucher and then give it to Tommy.
I just need the voucher.
Tommy could do 2.
Tommy could do 7. Relax.
Oh, get out of here.
Tommy, should I turn your mic on? Hold on.
After a comment like that, to not have the mic on is crazy.
I mean, to be the producer of the show and to not have control of the board is crazy.
I was telling my wife last night that I was more nervous about. I wanted to win the burgers for everybody, in the stands, and include myself. You could tell the energy around today is like on a day game was a little bit more than usual. No, it was fun, but seriously, I wanted to win those burgers bad.
Seriously, I want to win them burgers bad.
I want to hang out with Brandon Woodruff, man.
How about the 2 home games? The 2 home games, weekday home games against Pittsburgh this year. The first one was Mizorowski Skeens when Mizorowski absolutely owned Paul Skeens. And the second one is Woody leading the way, 4 shutout innings, and the Brewers winning 12-5 for their 12th win in a row.
No,
can Pittsburgh just play here every day?
They should. I guess everyone should just play here. I mean, it doesn't matter who the Brewers are playing. I mean, they're just getting it done. And again, yesterday, got a little dicey there. Yeah. Got to 6-5. I was like, oh man, 6-0. All right, like I don't even need to watch. I'll look at all the the stats. Everyone's going to get a hit. This thing is over. And then they just kind of tighten down and find a way to still get 12 runs. Right? How in the world are they doing this?
Home runs, 12 runs, unbelievable, Mace.
Yeah, it is unreal. And I just who do you point to? I mean, there's everybody is doing it, so I don't know who you point to. Tommy, do you have an answer for me? Who are you pointing to?
Are we going to ask the audience?
I don't know.
Here
I got to ask one. I got to ask one other question.
Because you're the host of the leadoff show.
Did I miss the memo on my day off yesterday that we were wearing purple today? Because I didn't get that memo. What's going on over there?
So I'm also not wearing a hat for the first time.
That is strange.
Forever.
Share why.
We are apparently supposed to take a headshot today.
Not we.
Me and Charlie is the we. Yes. There are other people that work here as well.
Trim the beard up too.
I don't think I did. No, I did not do that. That was just all.
That was just the
natural.
15 hours of sleep you got last night.
I was zonked
out. Tommy's been working hard, and I think it just caught up with him yesterday. You said you fell asleep right after the game.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I woke up, and Drew Wagner was texting me. You guys were texting me, but it was like 3:00 in the morning.
How many from Sparky? Did you have Sparky?
I actually don't think I had a solo text from Sparky. Okay. I think I had a Sparky and Charlie group text.
Probably the worst part is I don't think any of us sent a text like, "You okay, man?"
I was thinking it, and then I thought to myself, he's definitely asleep.
Yeah, you just need some time. We just gave you your time.
I was worried, but I was also like, is he partying too hard right now?
No.
Is he tearing up Cudahy right
now?
On
a Wednesday night, just get after it.
I had told Sparky, you need anything from me because I am going to go home early yesterday. Right. Just was tired, and once the show was done, I didn't. As soon as the game was over, I didn't even make it to Pat Murphy post game. I was already out. I was already slept.
But did you make it to this?
And that's a fair ball down to the right field corner. 2 runs will score, and Contreras comes through.
Yeah, how about that? My goodness. The slices one inside the bag.
A slicer.
That's why he didn't try and sell the hit by pitch.
Yeah, I watched the whole game, and it was 6-0, and vibes were high, and everything was great.
Game over. Right?
Shelby Millett, read the room, dude. What are you doing? That was
go back
fun.
to Cleveland.
There is no one.
Emphasis.
There is no one I didn't scare at the orthodontist office when Bill Contreras had that hit. So
jumped up.
Big Rumble was there. I'm watching on my phone. I jumped up and screamed and all the it was me and a bunch of moms waiting for their kids, and they all.
At least you weren't getting work done, and they have have the TV there. Oh, that would be dangerous.
I asked them to turn the game on. They did, but there was one mom trying to get work done. But I've saved the 4 moms. 2 of them were into it with me. 2 of them were like, "What, Brewers? What's the update?" I'm like, William Contreras, 2-run single, let's go. And they were like, yeah. Like,
so
people,
ridiculous.
everybody, even at the orthodontist office, they're in on this.
Everybody is in on it.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. Where were you when Bill Contreras had the 2-run single? No, that's the question of the day. No, I'm just kidding.
Where were you?
Yeah, we're all excited for burgers, no doubt about that. We're all going to find out what today at noon is the press release.
Is that the release?
Yeah, the social media, the press release, all that.
They said they ordered 250,000 pounds or some crazy number.
I don't care what it is. It's not enough.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Charlie is going to have a half of that by himself. Charlie's a big boy.
Maybe it's 25,000.
Well, I think it is like
that's
now.
A big number. 250,000 sounds really large.
I had put up this question to you guys because I think that you can get so many answers, but who is the best player on the Milwaukee Brewers right now?
Right now.
Because I think
today, this season, this winning streak, career.
I just put it out on Twitter, so feel free at the Fan Milwaukee. Jump on. You can comment on the YouTube page at the Fan Milwaukee and call in 414-677-1250 if you want to. But I have an answer. I don't know if you want me to lead it off or if you guys want to lead it off.
I was in Thailand earlier this morning. That's what we call our sales area because they wear ties, even though nobody wears a tie anymore. And I asked Jason in Thailand he just went. I think he went with a common. I don't want to say easy, but a common answer. He went with Christian Yelich. He just said, like I said, hey, Jason, who's the best player on the Brewers? He said, Yelich? I'm like, kind of a question, kind of an answer, because, yes, that is an answer, and that is a good answer.
He is the best
on the board,
established.
Right? It's on the Family Feud board.
Yeah, he is the best established player. He would be on that list where it's like, all right, this team is not doing what it's doing right now. If you don't have the leadership, first off, that Yelich brings, what he's done for this team throughout the course of the season, he started so flat and so bad. It's like, man, is he going to ever get back into his form? And I mean, we were talking about that in May. And then he's just been on a heater as well. So, and he was still hitting home runs. He just wasn't really doing, a ton, even early on. But it's, he is that quintessential, and he, how he talks about the Brewers and when he came to Milwaukee and what that meant and diving into the culture. So, I mean, yes, Yelich is the low-hanging fruit of who is that guy? Who is the best player on this team? But I mean, I think we have to argue a couple other guys that are in this conversation, probably on more recency, bias, and okay, this is a guy that you want to build this next wave of Brewers franchise around as this thing continues forward. So, Tommy, I'm curious who y'all think.
414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. You can tweet at the Fan Milwaukee, at Crosby Kicks 2, that's the number 2, at Thunder MKE, at Tommy WSSP. You can find us on our Facebook page, The Fan Milwaukee. And, of course, we are on YouTube. You can comment right on our YouTube page, at The Fan Milwaukee. Who is the best player on this Milwaukee Brewers? Mr. Leadoff Show, you want to lead things off?
Bryce Terang.
Ooh.
I was thinking Bryce.
Terang.
Well, we know Man Crush is part of this.
He's my boy for sure. He's been my boy all season long as well. And before that, I would like that to be prefaced.
I mean, he broke his hit streak, so I'm kind of.
I know that was a bummer last night.
I will add another caveat in the tattoo bet if you are open to it, where it would increase my odds of getting the number 2 tattooed on me.
I mean,
okay. Yes, I'm down for anything.
Yeah. Say less.
If Bryce Terang hits 21 home runs this year or more, 20 doesn't count. Got to get more than 20.
All right, where's he at right now? He's at
12.
At 12.
Okay, but he has 6 since the start of August.
True, 6
so
and a half
he's been on an absolute heater.
Right.
But I will again. I'll make it more public. We can do this.
This is
I'm
a
okay
possibility.
with it. Yeah,
I would bet against it, but this is a real possibility.
Bryce Terang right now, 275 average, a 749 OPS, 342 on base percentage is near the tops of the team for the guys who have been playing every day. He leads the team in WAR as well, knowing how great he is on defense. He leads the team in stolen bases at 21 stolen bases. As far as someone who embodies Brewers' brand of baseball right now, of playing how they play, playing different than everyone else, getting on base, causing havoc, being stressful, playing elite defense, I think Bryce Terang is the best player on the team. He's second in hits as well, behind Jackson Chourio. He's scored the most runs on the team, tied with Jackson Chourio. I think Bryce Terang is my pick. Who's the best player on the Brewers?
I mean, I can't give much argument there. I mean, there's
so many
not much
people
argument
you can point
there.
to, for sure.
I mean, just a solid infield. I bet he can play probably 3 positions in the infield, right?
I mean, if they asked him to,
needed him to, right?
Yeah,
like he could probably move around a little bit.
He's played a little bit of shortstop this year, just in a couple of garbage time moments, just I think to get Monasterio in the game and give some guys some breathers. But he's obviously the everyday second baseman. He has maybe some of the best availability on the team. And I don't know if I would even pick Christian Yelich second, but I don't want to spoil any answers too.
I mean, honestly, you got to put Billy Boy up there. I would put Wild Bill as maybe a contender for this.
Sure.
I mean, when his bat is cranking like it is right now, and obviously the trust, especially with the pitching staff that this Brewers team has, you have to have a guy like Bill Contreras behind the plate, kind of calling the game, keeping those guys in it, doing all those things. You look at some great teams of the past, around the league. And some of their best players and their anchors were their catcher, right? So it's I think Bill Contreras, definitely would get a nod. I'd say if I'm not looking at Yelich, I'd look at Wild Bill.
I will.
And
not
Wild Bill is
player.
second on the team for hitting.
Yeah.
For WAR. I'm not going to say mine yet. But I do want to point out that when we do look at wins above replacement, which is a number that a lot of stat heads look at, Bryce Terang is first on the team, tied with Freddie Peralta. Freddie Peralta has the same WAR as Bryce Terang. I know he's struggled since the All-Star break. Obviously, was awesome 2 days ago. But Freddie Peralta should be mentioned in this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't even thinking about pitchers.
Oh, you got to think about pitchers. On this
I was just thinking I almost put them in 2 separate categories, But it is, you want to look at pitcher, then it's. I mean, but that's a tough conversation. This is crazy to say who is the best player because, I mean, you just go down the line, and right now you could say Quinn Priester is the best player on this team right now. Who's the MVP of this team?
Quinn Priester has the best win percentage in the league. The Brewers right now have 2 league leaders.
I mean, you could say Isaac Collins.
Right. It's Freddie Peralta in wins. And it's Quinn Priester in win percentage. And Isaac Collins is absolutely in this conversation, Mason.
Isn't it crazy? He's 28 years old, too. I kind of forget that. Yeah, he's a 28-year-old rookie. Yeah, just doing his thing.
Yeah, old guy on the team. I would have said that Mason, Bill Contreras would have probably been my number 2 as well on this team, especially with the heater he's on.
Yeah.
His defense has been elite all season and better than we've seen out of him in previous years, too. Not that he was necessarily poor when he got to Milwaukee. He figured it out. But I would say that Bryce Terang, William Contreras are the 2 best players on the team right now for the Brewers.
I've got Yelich, Terang, Contreras, Peralta, Priester, and Collins. I've written down those 6 names as people we have mentioned today.
I'm just and again, it's always wording of certain questions, right? Because it's if you just say best player on the team, I guess that's why, not that it's like saying, kickers aren't football players, all that, but it's pitchers. Pitchers are their own entity, I feel like. So it's who's the best pitcher?
They have their
and
own
then who's
award.
the best field? Yeah,
right?
who's
Pitchers
the best
have
fielder?
the Cy Young.
Yeah, so that's kind of.
Can they win the MVP? Yes.
So
but
I
more
almost
often than
think
not.
those are 2 different conversations in my mind. So those lists are slightly different.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at this pitching stat, that's why I think I put Bill Contreras, just because again. What this pitching staff is able to do has a lot to do with his presence behind the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he is so solid back there. They speak about him in such reverence and in a way that it's man, without him back there, I might not feel as confident as I do. So.
Yeah, I completely agree.
414 writes into the Nicolay fan talking text line 414-677-1250. Remember, we want your answers. Who is the best player right now on the Milwaukee Brewers? I think Thomas should get a mom tattoo before a Bryce Terang. Just saying.
I think so.
So, Tommy, let's see what we can do.
Do we have a World Series bet for a tat bet? I mean, you're getting a tattoo if they win the World Series, right?
Okay, you guys come up with that one. I will
figure that one out.
Agree or disagree to it.
Can this tattoo bet though? Can I take it a little further? Just because I think it would be kind of cool.
You getting nasty on us, Mace?
If the number 2 is they're like little bats. So like they have to do like a little bat like as the top and then down and they're all just little bats.
I think
that would be awesome.
Have to draw this for me.
I'll draw it for you.
Okay, because I can't see the image.
I got a name I want to throw out there. And you're he is tied for the team lead in runs. He leads the team in hits. He leads the team in doubles. He is second on the team in home runs. He is second on the team in RBI. He is tied for second on the team in stolen bases, and he hasn't played in 2 weeks. Jackson Chourio, we're not even talking about, and he's not, listen, nobody's going to say today.
He's not available.
Right, he's not available right
exactly.
now. But Jackson Chourio, as of 2 weeks ago, was absolutely in this conversation, right?
For sure. He could still be in the conversation today based on the whole season. That's kind of what I was basing my
no doubt. I mean, it's almost like not that like I've forgotten about him, but it's like if you're not, you're not on this, this run and this streak, you're kind of like, all right, where you at? Especially in the course of a baseball season. They're doing this without
Jackson Chourio.
I know.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
and The Miz has been out. It's
another one.
Crazy.
If we're talking about most talented player on this team, Mizorowski is right back in the conversation too.
Yeah, I mean this team is stacked. I mean,
what about Woody?
And they have the mentality.
Yeah,
Woodruff. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
And right now, I think
how about and I feel talked about it yesterday. I bet you did, but what about Seigler pitching in the game?
That was great.
On Tuesday, when I saw that, I was like, "Is this a typo?"
No,
he came in and threw
that
pitches.
Happens.
Then he threw 7 strikes. I mean, the guy balled out. They were up, 14-0. Just came in and got his pitches in. I love that.
I have this sound here from Russell Dorsey on MLB Network as well, just kind of explaining this, and I think it really leads into this argument too because he's kind of struggling to even just name players on the Brewers.
They're the embodiment of the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. Because you look at their lineup, it's like, okay, Sal Frelick, Christian Yelich, I know who that is. Isaac Collins, I've never heard of this.
Is excellent.
Contreras. Yeah. But you can make the argument if you can count William Contreras as being a superstar at the catcher position.
Yes. Yeah.
They really don't have a top 5, top 6 player in the they don't have that superstar caliber.
They have real guys.
They don't have a Mookie Betts, a Bryce Harper, a guy at that level. But they use their 26-man roster as well as any team in Major League Baseball. And something that Theo Epstein used to talk about when I got on the Cubs beat in Chicago is positional redundancy. And you look at how they use the roster, they know that guys are going to get hurt. But you always see guys like Blake Perkins. If Chourio goes down, you can plug Blake Perkins in. He's been playing as well as anybody in baseball over the last couple weeks. You can bring in a guy like Andrew Vaughn, who has the 6th best OPS in baseball since he arrived. They're playing good.
I think can I just jump in there?
Yeah.
They were the leaders in this game in having a pitching lab. And I don't believe that Vaughn got there and they told him to relax and he's fine. I think they labbed him up. They had to have labbed him up.
Yeah, but they're great at player development in that regard, where it's like, hey, you're not going to be a 550 at-bat guy anymore. We're going to find you the matchups, get you 350 to 400, and now you're going to turn into this guy that is extremely productive.
We didn't even mention Vaughn. Right?
It's not even
mention Vaughn.
Yeah, I think it's too soon to say Vaughn, but Vaughn is one of those guys. Like you hope he can sustain this. I think it's almost like you're kind of holding your breath with Vaughn a little bit just because of his it's like, all right, he wasn't this guy. Right. Is this something that he can be on a day in day out basis for years to come? I mean, we got to say Pat Murphy and this Brewers organization might just be the best. They're the most impressive in this whole thing. Matt Arnold. Look at that, too. And I sent y'all that, and I don't know if y'all talked about this either yesterday, that Devin Williams. Like, going to the Yankees. Like, what in the world?
Mess.
Like, his stats, like, as a Brewers pitcher, and then, like, he's given up, more home runs with the Yankees in one season than he did with the Brewers in 4?
Yeah, I think the numbers were like 25 earned runs with the Brewers over the 4 years he was there, and it was 23 earned runs this season alone.
That's just crazy, right? Like, how impressive is it, like, what they're doing there? And I think they have the right model right now for where the Major League Baseball has gone over the last, decade, what it's shifted to. Like, this is almost, it's refreshing, and you have guys that are just willing to lay it on the line every day, and they're hungry to go out there and play. And I mean, Pat Murphy talks about that all the time, the hunger of this team.
Yep.
And it's, I mean, that's infectious.
Real quick, I have in support of Christian Yelich. Bryce Terang is 3 point. When you look at WAR, Bryce Terang leads the team at 3.7. Contreras is 3.3. Collins is 2.9. Frelick is 2.6. You could argue all four of those guys are Gold Glove players, right? So their defense has a pretty big impact on them being the best player on this team. Fifth on the team in WAR is Christian Yelich, just from an offensive standpoint. Because when he plays part-time left field, it's not like he's special in left at all. So his WAR is that high as a DH. The fact that he's been able to get his mind right. We talk about human Wednesdays or human whatever days all the time. And Christian Yelich, at first, when he was told he was going to DH, was like, I like to be in the field. I like the action. I like being part of it. The fact that he's been able to make this switch to almost full-time DH 1 day a week or whatever it is in the field and still contribute at this level tells me that he is mentally strong and he is locked in. So, and I don't know if my vote's for Yelich, but I think that's a great vote for in support of what he has done.
Well, I think you just said it and nailed it on the head, is that who is the most important player to this Brewers team. And I don't think there's not much argument that it's Christian Yelich.
Yeah, veteran leadership, right?
Yeah, he is the most important player on this team, and he got them. The closed door player meeting and just his, he has just been so solid all year in his what he says to the media, in the way he's approached everything. Like, he's selling out around the bases, like he's leading the way. He is the most important player on this team, if not the best player on this team.
All right. So question for you, Mason, because you went through this, for a long time with the Packers, I think we all agree Aaron Rodgers was the best player on the Packers, right? Yep, and he was like, but were there veterans who maybe weren't as good on the field, but had that type of impact in the clubhouse? And not that Christian Yelich isn't that good, because clearly he is still that good, whether he's the best player or not. Like with Aaron, there was no doubt he was the best player. But was there anybody else who, like, the players kind of rallied around or looked to, whether they did it vocally or led by example? Do you remember any veterans who stood out to you at all?
I got to think about that a little bit, and maybe I'll think about it in the break and get back to you, because I mean, usually
we didn't prepare for this question, so
no, I was not prepared. I'm trying to think of like who was that guy that was in that, and it's usually a veteran on the kind of towards the end. I mean, I would almost say like a Mercedes Lewis, whenever he was on the squad.
Yeah,
it's like, but he did that grunt work. He did all that the blocking and inline stuff. He was and Aaron would try to get him touchdowns as much as possible.
Yes,
do little things around the goal line. But he was just that guy that you always could lean on. He was always available. He'd take his veteran days during the week and wouldn't practice all week, but then always be ready to go. And was he's obviously, to do it as long as he did at that position is exceptional. And the guy worked hard and did it right every day.
That's only awesome. First round pick Aaron Rodgers ever threw a touchdown pass to. Right?
There it is.
For the Packers, at least. I don't know if it happened after that, but
right. But that is crazy. This is the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text line. Who is the best player on the Milwaukee Brewers? We're going to turn a little attention. We've got Drew Wagner coming up at 10. Going to talk a lot more Brewers, a lot more burgers today. But we are going to turn our attention a little bit to our Green Bay Packers, because there's some fights that are going to happen today in Indianapolis or wherever that joint practice is. I don't know, suburb of Indianapolis. Or
Carmel.
Carmel, Indiana, exactly. Fight. Cannot wait. The Packers and the Colts joint practice. We're going to talk Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Malik Willis, all the players as they get this joint practice underway in preparation for a noon kickoff on Saturday. I think that's weird. Noon on Saturday. It's kind of weird.
They didn't used to do that, right? It was either they were all night games.
Do you know what Tommy said to me? He said, just pretend it's a Houston Texans playoff game. That's a great line from yesterday.
Yes.
Because the Texans always get the worst slot in the
always
playoffs,
play
right?
noon on Saturday,
Exactly.
And have a conflict. Like there's always a college football game, like right around the same time.
Exactly. He's Mason Crosby. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz, the host of the leadoff show here as well. Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Milwaukee Brewers are taking care of business. This is the Mason Crosby Show. 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app, free wherever you listen to your podcast. So if you missed part of the show and you want to come back and listen to it, you can do it from Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Just search The Mason Crosby Show. Mason, I don't mean to put you on the spot again, but before we get to Packers talk, any highlights from Human Wednesday? Any epiphanies? Anything you want to share? Did you hit golf balls? Did you hit them straight?
I did not hit golf balls yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I ran around. Nolan, my oldest and only son, turns 15 tomorrow.
Oh,
so
let's go.
Made sure all of his gifts, everything was kind of ready for that.
New football pads or something like that.
He did. Yeah, he was he did get some. they wear now like those kind of like the tights underneath, and they have the pads inside of them, like under their pants. They don't like sticking them, the pads in the pants. It's a thing. So he was like, oh gosh, like the
Kids
ones I have, they're a little too soft and loose. Like I need a little, and so got some of those. Got him a couple other things. He's a teenage boy, so you know what that life is as far as just teenagers and what they're into. He needs AirPods for school and things like that. So we're running that, and gonna have a birthday party on Saturday night.
Nice.
Going to Top Golf.
Tommy and I will be there.
Yeah, come on down, Top Golf here in Nashville, and then
what if Tommy just showed up?
He's all for it. I'm surprised Nolan didn't invite him.
Lose his brain.
Nolan should have invited him.
That'd be amazing.
Here's a funny story I had, and it was from drop off this morning with the girls, and just in honor of National Middle Child Day. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah.
As an only, I never experienced that.
And I have a question for y'all after this. I was thinking about it during the break, and kind of has to do with the Wisconsin sports teams, and and obviously in honor of National Middle Child Day.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, became our middle child when we had the twins.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, Elizabeth, and I'm a middle child. I'm like, it's National Middle Child Day. Let's let's celebrate each other. It's awesome. And I kid you not, Christine in the back seat goes, "Who's Elizabeth?"
What?
Just like
that's amazing.
It was on cue,
like perfectly
so
timed.
funny. She's just like, "Who's Elizabeth?" Like just pretending she didn't exist.
So is the older of the twins also a middle child? Because technically
because we have five, so it's
so are 2, 3, and 4 all middle or just 3?
I think I just put just 3.
Just in them, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
would
if
you say so? I never thought of it that way. Gosh, you're opening my mind to all kinds of things.
If you have 4 kids, do you not have a middle kid, or are 2 and 3 both middles?
Gosh, man.
I don't know any of these because I'm an only child, and I only
interesting.
And I have 2 girls.
You only have 2, yeah.
Right, so I don't. But my wife,
I'm going to have to think about that now, Mitch.
Mrs. Thunder is 3 of 4.
Okay.
And she was the youngest for like 6.5 years.
Okay.
And then Uncle Joey Pants the third came
Is there
along.
like a transition there where you go from like youngest to middle?
She
and
was pissed.
Oh,
she was like, there are videos of like her like, Dad, look at me, I'm doing this ballet dance, and Dad has the video camera like literally on a baby doing nothing. Literally, like, no, I'm watching the baby.
So she did. She transitioned right into that middle child pretty quick. So
his wedding is next weekend. She is going to roast him. She's going to crush Dad. She's going to crush her brother.
Oh, my goodness.
It is on, baby.
That's awesome. Yeah, so, I think in our crew, I do think having 5, like that middle child does
really the middle.
It gets stuck right there in the middle, almost like with 3, right? So, because I wouldn't, let's see, that would be Felicity.
Yeah,
no, Felicity is definitely like a baby.
The baby.
Yeah, like she's like
because Charlotte was the middle for a little while there, right?
She was the middle for a moment.
Yeah, for a moment, yeah.
I mean, it was
right.
I think we had the twins. Like, man, it was less than 2 years. I think it was like 18 months after.
Yeah. So for a little while, but not too long.
That was what we said. We're like, Elizabeth's such a great baby. Yeah. It's like we didn't even get to see her as like a kid before we had the twins.
Yep. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the Fan Studios, powered by the Podwatering Sportsbook. I wonder how it affects like what number order is Jordan Love? What number order is Josh Jacobs? What number order is Christian Watson? What number order is Edgerrin Cooper? I wonder if it affects players if they're like, if you're the oldest, like I bet
there's a lot of first child and middle child.
Or do you think there's any youngest? Because like if you're the youngest and you have older brothers, like they beat up on you all the time, does that develop some toughness that you end up like
sometimes
you have to go play?
But they have everything given to them.
That's true too.
That's like they're just kind of like they don't have to work as hard for everything. Like I feel
that's
like
a good point.
I feel like the oldest has a mindset that like I'm going to do the right things. I'm going to go out there. I have like my process. I'm going to do all that. The middle is like I have to perform because nobody, it's like nobody's watching. I'm going to perform. I'm going to like go out there and do my thing. And show what I can do, and the youngest is just like, whatever. Like, they'll do it for me.
Eli Manning is punching his TV screen as you say this right now. Probably
it's probably true. Probably true.
I heard Cooper Manning was the best Manning.
He was before he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was the best athlete for sure.
Would you say Eli is the worst of those 3? Yes, I would.
Athletically, yes, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, what Tommy?
You think Tommy? You got an issue here?
You think
you got something to say, bro?
I mean, Eli Manning is.
Look at Arch Manning. That's Cooper Manning's son. That was Cooper Manning. If
Eli Manning was the worst of the three growing up, and it wasn't close.
Okay, well, first of all, growing up doesn't count because then two of them made it to the NFL.
Right, and one had a catastrophic injury, or it would have been like Jerry Rice.
And then Eli Manning
also would be like Eli who
is the reason why Tom Brady doesn't have like 10 Super Bowls.
That's true.
So
That's
true.
So we're thankful for that younger brother mentality.
I would argue David Tyree and Mario
he saw
Manning
Tom Brady as his older brother, and he just wanted to take him down.
He little bro'd Tom Brady.
All right, let's get back to joint practices here on the Mason Crosby Show. Remember, we're still taking your answers on the text line, 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Who's the best player on the Brewers? I know I threw it up on the Thunder MKE Facebook page, and I've got a bunch of answers already, so if you want to answer there, you can. You can also get to it on the Fan Milwaukee, all of our socials, and Mason socials as well. But Mason, when did joint practices start? Like when did this phenomenon start? And like
LaFleur, we didn't do them.
Was it immediate that like once joint practices started, all of a sudden melees broke loose left and right?
I mean, you started talking. Yeah, I remember conversations in the locker room where it's just like, yeah, we're fighting this week. Like it's, I mean, we've been pretty mild. Like we're trying not to hurt our teammates, but like I'm going to take it out on someone on that other team. And sometimes someone knew someone on that other team that they maybe played in college or had some sort of connection to that they already had some beef with.
Okay.
And so like this is my opportunity. And that does happen.
There's
bros on other teams.
Anybody in particular?
I don't remember
like a little chip on their shoulder with
No, but like there was it was always again I hung out with offensive linemen a ton, so I'm like I'd always remember their conversations, and they'd be watching film on the the team that was coming into town.
Yep.
And again, we didn't have joint practices until LaFleur got there, so that was kind of into my career.
Okay.
There in Green Bay, but It was like I just remember guys like, oh my gosh, this guy is like I'm gonna punch him in the face. Like he's gonna come at us. I think it was I think it was the Jets the first time they came to town. And it was just like, this guy's a try-hard. He's going to go way too hard in practice, and we're going to have to do something about it. And sure enough, like I think we had 2 joint practices with the Jets, and it was I think it was the second day, full pads, middle of the team reps, and all of a sudden it was just a melee, and it's just like this guy just had it coming. They just kind of had it planned, and I think they were hoping to get practice canceled. I mean, I think there is a mindset sometimes where maybe that we take this just a little too far, that it not far enough that there's any real injury or issue, but that maybe they're going to want to separate out the teams.
Yeah.
Because I think we had that one time where it was like, all right, like they sent the other team to the other field, and they're like, we're not practicing together anymore.
It was just too much.
Yeah, I think
those stupid tryhards
against the Broncos one year.
I love it. This is the Mason Crosby Show. We're presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. So we're getting into it. We've got the joint practices with the Colts going today. No Jordan Love, as we know. He's got the surgery to repair the torn ligament in his left thumb. Very important, left thumb. So who needs to show up? Like who needs to? Does anybody is it more important to show the coaches that you shine today, or is it more important that you show the coaches that you shine Saturday?
I mean, I think these joint practices. That is a good question, Mitch. I think these joint practices for some of these guys, it's really important for them to go out there and they get a little more comfortable where you're not outperforming still. You can work on some things. Like once you get into the game, you're running the routes, you're doing the things. You're like, all right, I've put in that practice. I have to go out there and perform. I can't be trying anything on the field right now. Mm-hmm. So this is the time to try a different release. If you're a young wide receiver, like try something on a DB that you haven't been going up against. If you're a DB, you're like, all right, I'm going to make sure my footwork's good, and I don't know how this guy does all of his stuff because I've been going up against the same guys for 2.5, 3 weeks now. And you kind of get used to their cadence. So I think those types of things are really good. Again, our offensive line, seeing some different pass rush, one-on-one drills, things like that. All those things can be positive as long as it is within the constraints of this is practice.
Okay.
We are not, taking it out. I saw what Shamar Stewart there for Cincinnati. like come around the edge going way too hard, and he hits Joe Burrow, and a fight broke out at their practice, which it should. I mean, your offensive linemen are just going to freak out if you do something like that in practice. So if that happens in a joint practice over, because like you're not holding back against someone else, someone not on your team. So I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah, and then come Saturday, it's it's just go out there, try to get that rhythm going. I think this offense just wants to just get a rhythm going. They're probably not going to play a ton of guys. I think they've already said that, especially with the joint practice.
Right.
Get Malik Willis some more looks.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talking about Saturday and getting out in front of the crowd. Ram is on the north side. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. 414-677-1250. Still taking your texts about who you think is the best player on the Milwaukee Brewers. But Ram has a question about some of what's going on with the Packers and Colts right now. Ram, you're on the Mason Crosby Show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man.
Ram, our guy. Yep. What's up?
What's up, Mason? Hey, I just got a straight-up question. Now, you're a pro athlete. You played high level, won a Super Bowl. So, when we look at this quarterback situation, I'm a guy, I don't like metrics analytics, I don't, but I don't think stats lie. Because I just think, like, if you can play good at one level, if you raise to a high level, you put the same situation on it, you can still perform.
Yep.
So when we look at the Packer quarterback situation, and you go up there, you looking, and I know sometimes it's tongue-in-cheek, but it just seemed like Malik Willis is really the guy that should be at the helm.
Uh-oh, Tommy,
I'm just saying from what I'm looking at.
Okay.
And I know I'll be listening to these different talk shows, and I know it's because they got contracts. There's a lot of stuff going, and I don't like that part. But if this was an era when Ron Wolf was the team president, it wouldn't even be no question. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So the problem I got with Jordan Love is, I don't know, Mason, but I don't know if he got enough. Like, he getting his reps at the pro level versus, like, a lot of good players like yourself. You got a lot of reps at the college level, and then it was just like you transferred in. But can you just make up for time in college at the pro level versus a guy who got reps at the pro level and he got numbers? What is your take on that? I mean, I just want to hear you.
No, Ram, I appreciate it. I think that's
Thanks for the call, Ram.
That's a good perspective. I think Jordan Love has he has a lot of experience because he got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, for a few years. And that experience is invaluable. I've said this since the end of the season too, Ram, is that this Jordan Love needs to take that next step. Mm-hmm. I think Malik Willis has that confidence. Like, what he said in the media, I think the other day, whenever it was like, obviously Jordan Love's our guy. Like, but if he's not practicing, we're stepping up and we're going on to the next. I don't think Malik Willis will, I don't believe he will never be the franchise quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
Correct.
But I do think he has a confidence and a swagger, and he's gaining that ability that he might get some opportunities, some looks somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I mean, when Matt Flynn came in for Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if there were questions.
He threw 40 touchdowns in one game.
The guy was electric, and those were teams we had, and that was scheme, and that's like how they ran it. And Matt Flynn's my guy, but he didn't go on and have immense success elsewhere. Like, he kind of just bounced around a little bit, some unforeseen circumstances, and just didn't end up being a longtime starter somewhere else. So sometimes there's freedom in that backup role. And I just want to emphasize that there's freedom. I remember whenever they'd bring in young kickers, just to talk to my stuff specifically, and these guys are just free flowing, hitting the ball, just as well. And I'm like, but can they carry the weight of being the franchise guy, being the guy that is dependent on day in and day out all the time? And that does take special individuals. And you've seen it time and time again, where all of a sudden someone gets handed the reins and it's like, this is yours now. And it just doesn't look like it did whenever they were coming in a fill-in type of role with less expectations on their shoulders.
We will wrap up this Packers conversation when we come back, a little bit more about joint practices and what you're looking for. the second of 3 preseason games, noon Saturday in Indianapolis. Packers versus Colts. We'll talk a little Christian Watson. We'll talk about the linebackers a little bit and about the offense in general and what we need to see from them before we get to Drew Wagner at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, our Forbes Sports Milwaukee Baseball Insider. Mason Crosby's here. I'm Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy TK Wirtz is here, the Mr. Leadoff. Tommy Wirtz. Mr. Leadoff, Tommy Wirtz. The Mason Crosby Show is presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the fan studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Watch us right now. Yep, I'm wearing my T-Swift t-shirt. What are you going to do about it? Let's go. This should not be in the mix. Like, this song should be reserved. From Chicago, Illinois, he is the best in the world, CM Punk. Makes you a CM Punk guy?
I mean, I like that song, but
it's a great song.
I'm a CM Punk
So at WrestleMania, Living Color actually came out and played this live for his entrance to the ring. It was
I love that.
Awesome. Very
Good
cool.
juiced.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Mace, what's your entrance song? Do you have an entrance not your favorite song, but like
no, I know
your entrance. Like if you know,
man, you're throwing out some good ones. I'm not prepared for this. Entrance song. Well, I mean, I'm a country guy, so it'd probably be something country.
But it's got to be something with juice.
Yeah, something with juice. Yep. Yeah. Man, let me think about that one too.
Yeah,
Jeez.
please do.
Like, I'm excited to think about that one. I'm gonna kind of like play a soundtrack in my brain and just start wondering. But I got a question back for
real
y'all.
Quick, at the border brouhaha, what should they have played when you came to the plate? That's what I'm asking. Yep. All right. Okay. Let's table that for now.
I'll look at my playlist and I'll tell you. You would be surprised at what my playlist was, like my game day playlist.
Really?
It was pretty emo, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think I've told y'all this before. It's like, yeah. I mean, but then I'd have hits. Actually, no, I know the exact song because it's the song I've played since I was in college. The last song I play before I get to the stadium is "Headstrong" by Trapped.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so it's not country, but that would be my song.
I'll play, absolutely.
Because that is literally every game day heading into the stadium. Last song I played was "Headstrong" by Trapped. So I'd kind of build it up. I'd get juiced right before I got there, and then I'd bring back into that kind of those just soothing that soothing music that kind of just centers me. My playlist is all over the place. I mean, I got "Need to Breathe," Ben Rector, Matt Kearney. Some Sister Hazel. Oh, there it is. Yeah, if my brother was here, he would have said this song right away. He would have known. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Headstrong to take on anyone.
That's right. That's solid. I'll tell you, you know what, Mace? Good for you, man.
Probably in high school, it would have been like "We Rode in Trucks."
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Luke Bryan. Yeah, exactly.
All right, you said you had a direction you wanted to send us in right now.
Yeah. I got a couple things. We're going to stay on Packers, for a shorter segment here, but I did see a stat about Jordan Love just going back to like Ram and like Malik Willis. I think we just need to be grateful and excited that we have a great backup. That you have a backup that has proven he can come in and win games when you need him to. That is not the key all over. And I got to give that mindset to Chase Daniel. Think about Chase Daniels. He was the consummate backup. He was a backup forever. He had a few times he could start, but never got called to be the guy. Colt McCoy, same type of guy. It is a special place in the NFL to be a really solid quality backup. So we can't take that for granted, but it's not every quarterback that steps foot on an NFL field and has a little success is built to be a franchise quarterback. And I just don't know if Malik Willis has answered all of those questions. I like what he's about, and I'm excited that he's the backup for this Green Bay Packers. I do want to throw that stat out. Jordan Love has the most 20-plus completions in the NFL over the past 2 seasons. I saw that with 59.
20-plus completion.
20-plus yard completions in the NFL over the last 2 seasons. So let's not sleep on Jordan Love and say – so I do want to – here's where I wanted to go. Okay. And it's about injuries and things like that. And I thought this was interesting. It was on X. This guy, so Zach Jacobson talked about Aaron Rodgers, all his injuries. And then someone replied to him, Brett Favre, J.J. Leahy replied, Brett Favre irreversibly corrupted this fan base's expectations, which I kind of agree with. So this is interesting. It's an injury report. Colts -6 at Packers. Packers quarterback Brett Favre. Sprained foot, sore neck, twisted knee, hyperextended elbow, bruised ribs, bruised quadriceps, bruised thigh, swollen cheekbone. This is the best. Mangled throwing hands. What does that even mean? And is listed as probable. So,
amazing.
And yes, Brett probably had all these things going on, but he wasn't going to play if he couldn't get up and and go. And who knows what the 90s injury reports and all that, it was almost like showmanship. I feel like with that kind of list, a mangled throwing hand is kind of a wild thing to put on an injury report. So I totally agree with that. I think the Brett Favre expectation of what players can and should and are expected to play through might be a little misleading. And then when we think about Jordan Love, he's having a surgery on his left thumb. It's his non-throwing hand. He'll get that done. He's going to maybe have to wear a little bit of a support brace, but guys do that all the time. He'll be all right. He's going to looks to be expected to be back for the regular season. Let's take a deep breath and just prepare for this thing. He shouldn't be playing in the preseason.
Right.
I think you posted a question here, and I want to dive into that too. Yeah. Is if the offense stinks all preseason,
yep.
Can we still trust them going in the or you said how can we trust them, but can we trust them going into the regular season?
Yeah, and I'm just worried because we saw, we know the defense was ahead of the offense. And then we saw the offense, even with Jordan Love for 2 series, stink against the Jets.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Love's hurt. And now all the receivers are hurt. And it's how can we trust that they're going to be ready to play the Lions? It's not like it's not like they have an easy game to lead into the season. They are hosting the Detroit Lions in a game that in week 1 could determine the division.
Yeah, let me throw this devil's advocate out though.
Please
What if the offense, Jordan Love, plays all 3 preseason games, they play a quarter in each game, they score a touchdown, in every game, just look really sharp, and then go out in week 1 and lay an egg.
Well, then
you're they were really good in preseason.
Then they suck.
Well, I mean, I don't fall into that because that's why I'm these starters should be very limited in preseason. Take it with a grain of salt, because if they play bad in the preseason and then they play bad and it's they were bad in the preseason, okay. But if they play bad in the preseason and go out and play well, then we have all these high hopes. So it's preseason is just a building block. Let's not not take you're not game planning. Just a little inside football is you don't game plan for the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
You're not looking at their stuff. They're putting in things to get ready for the Lions, for these first couple games, for the Washington Commander. They are starting to do work on those teams. These preseason teams don't even exist in their scheme and what they're trying to do. So,
but don't you want to see some level of competence from your offense?
Well, yeah. I mean, you always want to, but again, I think it's more just. I think you need to eliminate the penalties. Mm-hmm. Stop doing the stupid penalties. It's lining up offsides. I know Coach LaFleur was mad about that call in the game last week where it's that was, because of the tush push stuff. They were always offside. That kind of started. Now they're watching.
Musgrave's helmet was over the line or whatever. Yeah.
And those aren't nitpicky calls, but it's that is what preseason is for. Getting on the field whenever you have limited amount of time and it's you got to get lined up, do your checks, do all of your stuff. That's the more important thing is let's just clean all those little things up. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to unleash it against the Detroit Lions week 1 with all the scheme and all this stuff geared towards that team specifically.
Got it. That makes sense. I still
you want to obviously you want to see him do well. I think it gives you a little hope and confidence. We all want that, but I do say just look at it cautiously. Don't take it with a grain of salt. I hope that they can clean up some of those pre-snaps and the penalties and then the drops. You got to catch the ball. That's a key thing.
So real quick, is there something week of though? So they're done. So they play the Colts. They play next week, and then the week of getting ready to the Lions. Is there any of course there's everything speeds up, everything gets focused on, but is there a time where Jordan Love and the receivers specifically say hey, now it's time to really now we're locked in, or do they just know?
The shift is natural because all of a sudden then you have your team. The weirdest day of practice is when you go from 85 to 53.
Yeah,
that is the weirdest day because it feels like a crowded field, crowded locker room, crowded everything.
All of a sudden,
and then all of a sudden, there's nobody in the building.
Yep,
and you're just all right, now this is our team. Now we can work on what we need to do to go win this football game. And it's not about trying to get guys looks, make sure guys are staying fresh and healthy. It's we're going to work and we're going to beat the Detroit Lions. Yeah. And so there's just an organic shift that happens right at, when those final cuts come along here. And we're 2 weeks away.
Right, we're not far away. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports Milwaukee Baseball Insider, will join us next to talk about burgers, to talk about Bill Contreras, to talk about Christian Yelich, to talk about Woody, to talk about The Miz.
The Miz.
The Miz.
Is he coming back? He's almost back.
Let's find out with Drew Wagner next here on the Mason Crosby Show, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nelles. Brought to you by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball because fundamental development starts with focus. Find them at focusbaseball.com.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Mason Crosby here with you. And it is our pleasure and honor at this time to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the man who covers every single day, the team that is providing burgers for all of Southeast Wisconsin. He is the one, he is the only, Drew Wagner. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning. Happy Burger Day.
Happy Burger Day. Not yet. It's not Burger Day. It's Burger Announcement Day and, a voucher day. But if you could have, how many burgers could you eat from George Webb? Are they pretty big? Like, is that something that you're hoping to get multiple vouchers from?
I've crushed a sack of them before.
Oh.
Sack is 5 or 6?
I think it's 5.
Okay.
Nice. Yep. I love that.
Nice. Good for you, Drew.
Yeah, good for you, man.
All cheese on all of them? You go straight cheeseburger?
Cheese on all of them, baby. Cheeseburger.
That's
awesome. Well, it is wild, right? That this is the second time, they fell short earlier in the season. A month ago with an 11-win streak there to get to this 12 wins twice in a season, being right here on that cusp and to push through. And I love, what do you think of Woodruff's comments after, where he felt a little extra pressure about the burgers from George Webb and wanting to get everyone, including himself, a burger over there? What'd you think about that?
I loved it. I thought it was great. It was typical Brandon Woodruff. I mean, he's the most down to earth guy you'll ever meet in a baseball clubhouse. Like, he's part of the community. He knows the city knows him. He knows what's up. Like, those guys knew what was going on. They all heard it, and as goofy as it might be, everyone wants to see that happen. It's a little bit of local history, and everyone wants to be a part of that. That's what this team has been doing all year.
Yeah, it is special, and it's like, it's just one of the where everyone likes something, likes something free. You always want something like that. Do you think Brandon would be the guy, like he would be the guy on the team that would actually, he'd go into the George Webb with his voucher, get it, and like hang out, and just eat his burger there in the place, and just like kind of just nonchalant, go over there and grab his burger?
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. He's a cheeser. I mean, he's one of us now.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Well, let's talk about that game yesterday. It got a little tight. 6-0. Got it to 6-5. I was about to give up on this Brewers team. I mean, the fact that they even gave up 5 runs was pretty disappointing. Tongue in cheek. But then they just go off. Bill Contreras hits that ball down in the right field, down the first baseline, scores 2 runs. Just talk about what this Brewers team did against this Pirates team yesterday. And again, back against the wall a little bit, got it a little tight, and then still found the way to win without hitting a home run there too in the final innings.
It wasn't even just not hitting a home run. I mean, they had 12 hits yesterday, and all but 2 of them, those back-to-back doubles in the fourth, they were all singles. I mean, it was all base hits and walks yesterday.
That's crazy.
And they put a 12 spot on the board. That's all this talk about the Brewers don't have slug and the Brewers don't have power. They still manage to put runs on the board consistently. And I know the pitching gets better in the playoffs. And I've heard the people say, you need power in the playoffs. Well, they've also proven that they have power. They got 23 home runs this month, more than anybody else in ball.
Yeah.
They can score in different ways. The power is there if they need it. They're just not going out and trying to create it.
We got Drew Wagner on the Mason Crosby Show every Monday and Thursday at the 10 o'clock hour. He is at Forbes Sports, and he is our Brewers clubhouse insider, giving us all the juice, all the stuff you need all the time. I mean, Drew, like, you pretty much you're like Tommy on the station. I mean, you're on every show every day, just doing all things. So, are you tired of us yet, or are you still pretty excited to be doing this?
I'm living the dream, buddy. I'm living the dream.
Baby, wow.
Good. I love that. I love that.
Who is our starting pitcher tomorrow night, Drew?
Don't know. There's a chance it could be Miz in a short start. There's going to be a flurry of roster moves coming tomorrow. We're probably going to lose Isaac Collins for the weekend because his wife's about to have their first child. Not sure that Tobias was going to be in line to possibly start Friday, but they used him yesterday, so he's probably out. We'll see. We're gonna get an announcement probably tomorrow.
And do you see, like, I don't want to jump ahead to Monday, but obviously we're all thinking about Monday. Will there be another flurry of moves almost every day during that Cubs series based on what bullpen arms need to get used, when Isaac Collins can come back, all those sorts of things?
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. You do get to add the extra player, for the doubleheader.
Yep.
There's going to be it's going to be a very fluid situation the next couple of days.
I know in football, Mason, you're very into the trap game, and not that Cincinnati's a trap. Cincinnati's what, 1.5 out of the wild card. Cincinnati's, they're playing good ball. They just won 2 out of 3 from Philly, who'd been playing really well. But how do knowing this team, and it seems silly to ask because they're so locked into it's not even game by game, it's not even inning by inning, it's literally pitch by pitch with this team. But the Cubs series is looming. Is there any thought about they're gonna if they do well Friday and Saturday, they forget about Sunday? I know it's silly to ask with this team because we know this team, but how do you not know that Monday's looming?
I mean, you know that Monday's looming, but you know that you have a job to do. You still have 3 games. You're playing against a team in your division. You're playing against a team that's got a lot to play for right now. Mm-hmm. You pointed out they're a game out of the playoffs right now. The Mets are slumping. The Reds are surging. They're trying to get in there. So they're going to be coming with their A game. The Brewers want to keep this streak going. They want to keep building up that cushion going into the Cubs series to make that series matter a little bit less. You take care of business this weekend, that series loses a little bit of importance. Not that it's not a big deal, but the Cubs are playing Pittsburgh this weekend. So they'll probably have a pretty good weekend. But yeah, if you go in and you take 2 out of 3, and the Cubs happen to drop one there, and you can push this thing to 8.5 games,
right?
And make the Cubs basically need to sweep all 5 just to stay in it. I don't think they lose sight of anything because this series this weekend is important.
I mean, do you look at this team right now, how they're built, how they're winning these games, just so many different ways? I mean, again, they found power here in the last month, all that. Do you just look at this team right now where it's just are they going to be a tough team to knock out? I can't this team in a series, there's so many ways they can beat you. At this moment, if playoffs were to start today, I mean, this team has to be, the favorite to win the World Series. If they started right now, just because who's going to beat them in a series in the playoffs right now?
I mean, that's the thing. And even if the playoffs started right now, I doubt they would be the favorite to win the World Series because they don't have the firepower that you say maybe the Dodgers or the Phillies might have. But they're just as good, if not better. I mean, they are so deep. They are so well-rounded. They match up so well. They have so many different pieces, and they can score in different ways that you have to like their chances. I mean, listen, you don't win 76 games out of your first 142 or whatever it is on a fluke. They are playing incredibly good baseball right now, and they've been doing it for a long time. I don't think there's a team in ball that wants to face them right now.
I totally agree with you. We got Drew Wagner on the Mason Crosby Show, our Brewers Clubhouse insider. We asked this question to start the show, and I kind of want to throw it to you, Drew, because I'm interested to see what you think. Who is the best player on this Brewers team right now? Who would you take, and who would you name the best player on this team right now?
That's tough. I mean, you talking about the best player or the player who's playing the best? Because they can go different ways. I mean, Isaac Collins is probably playing the best of anybody right now.
Yep.
Contreras is playing really well right now. Yelich is playing well right now. It's tough to pick one person.
I agree. I mean, it's the combined sum of this squad that is getting it done on a day in, day out basis, and I think that's why they're so unique, because there's not a name or a face that the national media, that other teams, anyone can put their finger on and say, like, that is the person leading the way. I kind of put it like, I think Yelich is the most important player on this team. And I did say that, like, Bill Contreras is probably, for me, the best player on this team right now, just because of what he does in that catcher position. Getting those pitchers, how they talk about him, where it's just like, without Bill back there, I mean, he just gives us this confidence to go out and do our best stuff, throw our best stuff, because he's just so solid back there. And then his bat's gotten hot too.
Yeah, his bat's gotten really hot lately. I mean, I think he's. What was the homestand? I think he was 10 of 15 on the homestand with 11 RBI, or his 10 hits and 11 RBI on the homestand. And the power is coming back. I mean, he's just playing off his butt right now. And that's huge. If Contreras' power is coming back, that offense just cranks up to a whole nother level. And the fact that you're still adding Churio's going to come back.
Yeah,
and you're going to get Hoskins back. I mean, this Brewers, I said all along that this lineup has a sneaky amount of power in it, has power capability in it. We didn't see it for the longest time, but the power is there. Yelich, Churio, Contreras, they've all got pop. Now you're starting to see it out of Bryce Terang.
Yep.
You're seeing a little bit more out of Frelick. They're sneaky powerful.
That's a good way to put it.
The thing about it is that they live up to that adage. I say it all the time. I got Tommy reciting it now. Murph says it all the time, and Sal said it in postgame the other day. Home runs, more often than not, are thrown, not hit. And this team is smart enough to go out and realize they don't have to try to hit a home run. They can score runs by getting on base and moving guys over. And when that pitcher does make the mistake, they have that power ability to turn on that mistake and absolutely crush it.
For sure. Sure.
Drew Wagner joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Drew, I see the Bengals are in Washington Monday night for Monday Night Football this week. If the Bengals were home this weekend to coincide with Brewers Reds, would you have thought of making the pilgrimage just to check out your football team?
No, because it's preseason. I don't give a rodent's rear end.
That is the right answer. That is the correct answer. Thank you. That was a test. You passed. You may continue.
Yeah, I saw your boys over there in Cincinnati, though, getting a little skirmish because the young buck, Shamar Stewart, had a reckless play and hit Joe Burrow kind of in the midsection.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it kind of went off. What do you think about what's going on over there in Cincinnati? Are they just a disaster? I mean, what's happening over there?
They are the epitome of dysfunction. I've accepted this long ago in my fandom. Like, I just expect there to be shenanigans and chicanery and whatever every year. And
yes.
When the day goes by where there isn't some stupid happening, I'm delightfully surprised.
There's going to be a lot of 38-33 scores, I think, at Cincinnati, because that offense is still really good, but the defense is
horrible. Yeah. It's all right. We got Money Mac kicking, and everyone knows the key to a contender is a kicker.
That's right.
Man, your audience, Drew. Nicely done.
Yeah. That's right, Drew. You know what you're talking about. I knew you knew ball. I knew that you knew what you were doing over here. So, I do want to ask, I had one other thing that I wanted to throw at you. We talked about this earlier too, and I was curious where do you have siblings, Drew? And, if you do, what is your birth order? Because it is National Middle Child Day, and I am a middle child. So, I just kind of, I got to give the celebration, the honor out there.
I am the oldest of the Wagner clan.
That makes sense. Yeah, totally checks out.
Nice. What do you mean by that, Mason?
Yeah, exactly. That checks out. Because I had a funny story this morning where my daughter, we were celebrating Middle Child Day, and again, one of the youngest was just she just gave her, as the kids say, Riz, right? She gave her that Riz, and she said, she just goes, "Who's Elizabeth?" just pretended like she didn't exist. It was just like, man, talk about a little child. And then, of course, my middle child turned around and tried to punch her. Yep. So it's it gets crazy here in the Crosby household.
She could play for the Bengals.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Elizabeth Crosby starting safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's
go. Just doing ridiculous things.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome.
Can she rush a passer? We'll sign her today.
Yeah, exactly. No, you got Shamar Stewart, who's just like falling down in practice and hitting their starting quarterback in the knees. That's what y'all got over there in Cincy. So
ridiculous.
Before we let you go, Drew, just kind of give us the preview. We won't talk to you till Monday, till this Red Series is done, and we'll be jumping into the Cubs pretty heavy. So just kind of tell us what to look out for against the Cincinnati team, and where fans should be just cautiously weary about what they're doing over there.
Listen, it's going to be a tough series. It's a division series. It's a rival series. You played them a ton. You know who they are. You know what they do. They know who the Brewers are. They know what the Brewers do. The Reds have very good pitching. Their offense is coming around. They're starting to click on all cylinders now, and they're playing for their postseason lives right now. It is going to be a really tough series. Like, Brewers have won 12 in a row going in there. They want to extend that thing, and it's going to be a dogfight. The Reds aren't backing down. I would not be shocked if the Reds take 2 or 3, and that's not a knock on the Brewers.
Yeah.
It's just, listen, division rivals playing late in the season when you've seen each other a lot. There's no secrets, there's no surprises, and there's a lot on the line. But again, the key here for the Brewers is to keep that tunnel vision, that win tonight mentality, and know that if you take care of business on Friday and then you go and take care of business on Saturday or Sunday, you put the pressure on the Cubs next week. The Brewers, listen, no one's going to go and win all 5 games next week. That's ludicrous to even think that. But the losses can become more palatable if you have more breathing room. Yep. So take care of business this weekend, and you put less pressure on yourself and more pressure on the Cubs next week. That's what it comes down to.
I totally agree. Appreciate you, Drew. We got Drew Wagner at Forbes Sports, our Brewers Clubhouse insider, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Drew, have a great weekend. Enjoy this series there in Cincinnati, and as we rev up, it's almost time to face those pesky Cubs out there in Chicago on Monday. So appreciate you, Drew.
Yep, we'll talk to you from Wrigley.
Thank you, Drew. That's Drew Wagner. He will be at Wrigley on Monday and for the whole series. Monday is the doubleheader, of course, and then Tuesday, Wednesday night games, then Thursday another day game. 5 games in 4 days. Woo. We didn't really talk about Ellie De La Cruz, and I've said this before. He's on the Reds, and so we don't like him, but he sure is fun to watch. Like, he's a guy, cannon for an arm, can sprint with anybody in the league, hits for power, speed. He's got 19 home runs. He's got 31 stolen bases, OPS over 800, plays a good shortstop. Little inconsistent from time to time in the field, but's got an absolute cannon for an arm.
Overrated,
says Tommy. He might be overrated, and he's still really good. He might not be a superstar. People are viewing him as, I'll give Tommy credit for that one, because I think people talk about him like he's a superstar, and he's not. He's a really good player. He has the potential to be a superstar. Like, he's got all the physical gifts, but as a baseball player, I'm with Tommy Wirtz, overrated, but he's still fun to watch.
Sure, but I think Cincinnati would fall in love with Bryce Terang if he was the shortstop of the Cincinnati Reds instead of Ellie De La Cruz with the exact same roster right now too.
They might. I mean, but you're not talking apples and oranges. You're talking bananas and plantains, though. Like Ellie De La Cruz's presentation versus Bryce Terang. Like, Ellie De La Cruz's flash. Bryce Terang is the most solid baseball player on the history of Earth. So it's like they're not exactly in the same category. But I agree. Like, if Terang was there, Cincinnati would love any team. Listen, any team that had Bryce Terang. If Bryce Terang was the shortstop,
why do you love
Yankees,
De La Cruz so much? Like, why do you love him so much?
He's just fun to watch. He's just fun to watch, and it's like in a sport that sometimes needs stars and needs a little more attention because everybody's so in love with football and blah 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 blah. Sometimes baseball needs a little star power. And Ellie De La Cruz has star power, whether or not he's actually that good. He has that type of personality and that type of athleticism.
Yeah, if Bryce Turang knew how to talk in interviews, he'd be way more popular. I'll give him that.
Yes.
He is the worst interview possible, it feels like, when the Brewers have to talk to him
nobody
after
even
the
goes
game.
to him
But
for
just
interviews.
Another.
Is it because his name's Ellie? Is that why you
Well,
like him?
Ellie's just
that's a little.
I mean, that's the only connection I see.
should
I
have
love,
came up
I
with
love
that.
you. I love you, Mrs.
That was a
Thunder.
good one.
Tommy, you're
good
still
one.
asleep. Wake up, Tommy.
I know. But just, again, 3.4 WAR for Ellie versus 3.7 for Bryce.
Absolutely.
Literally.
No contest.
Yeah.
No
Just,
contest.
Come on. Overrated, Ellie De La Cruz.
But I like that you're trying to build a storyline, Mitch. I get it.
He and Major League Baseball markets him a lot.
He puts butts in seats.
For sure.
He does put butts in seats.
No shade
That's
on
what it's
that.
about.
Nobody's coming out on any other team to watch Bryce Turang as much as we love him and we know.
How dumb are
Bryce
people,
Turang.
right? I mean,
but people
like,
are coming out to watch. People do go out to watch Ellie De La Cruz. So
Yes.
let's
for
buy
sure.
some tickets,
I agree.
people.
I agree.
Buy those tickets.
Yep. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. I've got a bunch of answers about our Who's the Best Brewer on our social medias, so we'll get to that. We also have a fun question to flip on people.
Yeah, we do.
In the shadow of the Boston Celtics deal finalized for $6.1 million. I don't know how much
Did you say million or billion?
Bill, I said million, I think.
I think you said million.
If it was $6.1 million, Mason
we would have gone in
Crosby-
for that.
Right,
I would have been.
was gonna say,
I would have been
Mason
in on that deal.
And Thunder and Tommy would have bought the
Seriously.
Celtics. No, $6.1 billion. I don't know. I didn't see a price for the Trailblazers. I believe the Trailblazers just sold to the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yep, the price
owner?
I'm seeing is $4.25 billion.
Okay.
In Portland.
Got a
granted,
steal on
you're,
that
You're
one.
in Portland and your team stinks and there's no history there and Dame's hurt.
You have Dame now.
Yeah. But in the universe where the Celtics sell for $6.1 billion, we've got a fun question for everybody. So stay tuned for that here on the Mason Crosby Show. We're presented by Verizon. We are in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and we are on YouTube. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube, which I know a bunch of you are, you can post comments. You can post your questions. You can post your thoughts right there on our YouTube page at The Fan Milwaukee. He's Mason Crosby.
Right here.
Let's
Check
go.
us out.
It is not Saturday night. It is Thursday night, and it is free burgers here in Wisconsin. Not yet, though. We are getting some reports, Mason, of like people going to George Webb's and getting mad. The police had to be called to, I think, the location.
12 yet?
I mean, well, because they haven't. Right, because like yesterday, there were people who like immediately, as the Brewers won, went to George Webb's and then like threatened violence when they couldn't get their free burgers.
Relax.
I think in the Waukesha location, the cops had to be called. It was dispersed without incident. Okay. But people, the burgers aren't available yet. George Webb needs to prep. They need prep time.
It's a free burger. Let's relax.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's just relax.
Slow your roll, everybody. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelles. Tommy Orts is here as well. The Mason Crosby Show is presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. The Boston Celtics yesterday sold for $6.1 billion. This has been going on for a few months, but it was finalized yesterday. And I'm putting into my Google machine right now, how much are the Green Bay Packers worth?
Well, I saw Cowboys were worth like $12.8 billion or something like that.
Yep. Let's see. There's a Forbes list.
I'm always surprised that the Washington Commanders are valued that high. Like, I guess, they just have a deep fan base and like their history. Obviously they were really good back in the day. But.
I also think some of it falls into they own their own stadium, sort of stuff, versus not owning your own stadium.
Is like they're the three most valuable teams in the NFL.
Yep. The number I'm coming up here with is, as of 24, they were at $5.6 billion.
Yeah, that's just a number though. Like, they had the Lakers valued at around 5, right?
And then they
just
went
sold for 10, or got valued at 10 whenever they sold.
The Green Bay Packers would sell for more than the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
not even close.
I think they'd sell for 8
to 10.
Yeah, I think they sell for 8 pretty easily.
Yeah.
Which led Mason and I into the text conversation yesterday that we wanted to bring on the air today. If the Green Bay Packers were to be sold, first of all, does the money go to the city of Green Bay,
does it go?
The citizens of Green Bay, or the people who have worthless pieces of $250 pieces of paper?
That is
the shareholders, in quotes, because Green Bay has an official, not attendance, citizenship of 106,000 people.
Okay.
106,000 people live in the city limits of Green Bay. That doesn't include Ashwaubenon, which I feel like Ashwaubenon would have a pretty good case to be included since it's literally across the street.
But
it's,
So here's my argument. I think because the stadium, and they've paid taxes, for some of the stadium renovation, all that, like citizens in the, city of Green Bay. And I hate saying this because I love Green Bay and I love the people there, lived there for a long time. But I don't know unless, bless you. Sorry, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Unless somebody came in and bought the stadium and paid like a premium as well to buy the stadium and the land right there, I think that's still owned by the city. So like, I don't know if any of the Green Bay, citizen, like anyone that lives in Green Bay would actually see a piece of any kind of sale there.
The Green Bay Packers, Inc. is an American publicly held nonprofit corporation. Nonprofit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. That owns the National Football League's Green Bay Packers, an American football franchise based in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The corporation was established in 1923. It received its current legal name in 1935. They are a publicly owned corporation, the only major professional sports franchise in the United States that's a nonprofit entity, one of only a few that are not privately held. Rather than being the property of an individual, partnership, or corporate entity, they are held by 460 stockholders. No one's allowed to hold more than 200,000 shares, which represents approximately 4% of the 5 million shares currently outstanding.
So there's your answer. If it's sold, there would be some shareholder benefit. Like who knows what that would look like, right? Like do you get your money back? Like what's the return on that?
What is $8 billion divided by 5 million? So that's 1,600. So $1,600 per share.
Okay.
So you can own up to 200,000 shares.
Okay.
But you can't own. But
Man, I wonder who owns the most shares. Like I'd like to.
Like,
I'd
do you
like
think
to find
some
out
dude
that, like, who that
in
person
Greenfield or some dude in Alloway in his basement?
Do you think
just
anyone
has a
owns
stack?
more than 5,000 shares?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
way.
From back in the day, absolutely.
I find that.
If you can own up to 200,000 shares.
I mean, so there's only 500,000 owners with 5 million shares.
5 million shares. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody owns.
Somebody owns 10,000 shares.
10,000 shares.
15,000 shares. Sure. I think so. Now, but here's my question: if they sold and you've got these 5 million shares currently outstanding, how many of those shares do you have? Like, how many people have lost their piece of paper? Versus how many people know exactly where it is? Because most people have it framed in their house. Yep. But how many people had like shares in the 40s or 50s or 60s and like think it's in the safety deposit box, but maybe it's not? Yeah. Maybe it's in a pile of old newspapers.
I will say on the share,
maybe it
though,
got lost in the flood last weekend.
It says there is no, there's no monetary value to that. So does that that kind of cancel out if like it were ever to sell? And who would make that decision? I mean, Ed Policy, like the board, they would have to decide. Like, the beauty of it is nobody actually truly benefits from it, other than potentially shareholders getting $1,600 a share or whatever, and who benefits from it? Nobody, nobody. And that's the beauty of what the Green Bay Packers are, is that there's no one that says like, all right, like if I sold this, I can retire and go and take my $8 billion and have some fun.
Q writes in on YouTube. Remember, we are on YouTube at the Fan Milwaukee. He says, I have one, and I don't need a 10 times return on what I spent. LOL. Like he's good.
He feels good. Okay.
Right. He wants
that, Q.
He wants it to remain
compounding interest.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe at some point they'll be worth $16 billion. Then there you go.
Then it's another conversation. This is all a little tongue in cheek, though. I mean, the Packers are never selling, at least in our lifetime.
Yeah,
you think there's a chance?
I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of like. I guess. I mean, it just feels weird to think that it's like it will stay like that forever, but I don't see any path forward to why it wouldn't, right? Yep. Unless like Ed Policy said, keeping the Packers in Green Bay, unless the city of Green Bay decides to get tight with something and do something with the stadium or
but they just signed a 30-year lease, right? So we know for 30 years.
30 years, who knows? Like something crazy could happen, and all of a sudden, whoever's running the city just decides like, well, we want it to be this way, and they're just like, all right, well, we're going to move, and we're going to find an owner to move us somewhere else. Where would they go? North Dakota?
Milwaukee. Football Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Where would they move, Mason? Like what's a market right now that's dying for a football team? Is there? I'm trying
Obviously,
to think,
the easy answer is like you stay in Wisconsin, you just go to Milwaukee.
Right.
But
if there's another
St.
Louis,
you go back to St. Louis.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I know it's a great sports.
San Antonio, Birmingham, the home of the AFL or XFL or whatever it is now. Birmingham.
Yeah, I'm trying to think other cities that would be great. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty covered, right? So, like, I feel like it's
San
wild
Diego
sometimes.
Ruin their chance?
San Diego's out. Yeah, they're not. They're done.
They're just a suburb
you don't
of
need
LA
another
now.
team in California.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't think they can.
All right, I don't even want to talk
base.
about this anymore, Mason. Like, I don't want to talk about the Packers moving. Like, Packers are in Green Bay. They're in Green Bay for life. That's it. That's the list. Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Celtics go for 6.1. The Blazers go for 4.3. Yeah, I will talk about that.
So why are these basketball teams selling so much? Like, what's going on there? That's something that
they might be scared that baseball is becoming more popular than the NBA.
I mean, the Celtics specifically sold because they have crazy salaries right now. I mean, they had to trade Porzingis and Holiday. They still have crazy salaries due Tatum and Brown. They got their ring. The ownership group got their ring, and they're getting out for a crazy profit.
Yeah.
Like maybe they see the direction that the NBA is going in, and where it's all just free throws, dunks, and three-pointers.
I think it's more about the finances of the NBA than owners don't leave because free throws and dunks. Owners leave because the finances of the sport don't add up. Yeah. Like when you see that Luka is signing a shorter-term deal because after that he's going to sign a 5-year deal for $90 million a year, that doesn't make sense for ownership. Like ownerships are not going to see that profit if they're buying in now.
And they're just the Celtics guy, they're not growing at the rate of some of these other
Like if you bought 10 years ago, if you bought 30 years ago for $50 million. And now you're worth $5 billion. Like that's a great profit. But
that is a good profit.
Yeah, that's a good number.
I think that's a good number.
But even the Celtics owner now, who bought for $6 billion, like either it'll be worth $8 billion or $10 billion, and like that's a great profit in terms of money. But percentage wise, it's not even close to what it used to be. Or there is going to be a financial reckoning, and I do feel like the NBA is going to be kind of that crown jewel of financial reckoning in sports, because again, like you're not paying, no NFL players making 5 years $450 million, no MLB players making 5 years $450 million, and in the NBA it's going to happen regularly because every max player is going to start making that type of money, and at some point in the NBA it's not going to be feasible.
When you're seeing it now too, and it's obviously what happened with the NFLPA and like that Lloyd Howe, like they have these groups that are going to have ownership stake and large investments in multiple sports franchises. And like you said, what the Portland Trailblazers is like, it's the ownership group of the Hurricanes, right?
Right.
So it's like this is happening all over, and I see it in the space where I'm involved in the soccer world.
Yeah.
And I told you, like we had 2 teams that qualified for European like extra leagues, and our Irish team got knocked out because they said it's like competition, unfair competition. If they were to meet up with each other, how do you deem it like a fair competition? Like we could just tell them which team, like the ownership group could say which team you wanted to go forward.
But that's part of the game,
which is goofy.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace in England just got docked out of the Europa League because their ownership group has a stake in another team that was also in a European league.
Yeah, that's just silly.
It's just silly. Like, I mean, like the rules are you can't you can't have ownership stake in 2 teams in the same like country. Like, so I have that team, the ownership in the team in Birmingham, UK, and England. So I can't have another team in England. Like we can't have ownership stake in another team, which that makes sense. But if you're in other countries, what is the point? So some of these rules are going to probably be fluid, and they're going to have to figure it out because teams are starting to need cash because of player salaries, because of costs to operate. It's like the value of these clubs are really high, but it costs a lot to operate, and they need cash. And that's where Packers are king, because they have cash on hand. They don't have an owner saying like, I'm going to take this profit, put it in my pocket, and not just have cash to spend all over the place.
All right, so not only is tomorrow, and this is on theme, not only is tomorrow Mr. Nolan Crosby's birthday, which Tommy's flying down for the birthday party Saturday night, but tomorrow, as 1/3 of us on this show really care about, it is also opening day of the English Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Mason, let's go!
I am pumped. Yep. Liverpool plays Bournemouth on Saturday morning.
I got it right here, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow, yep.
2 that's tomorrow. That is tomorrow. Yes.
That is opening
even
game
better.
Tomorrow.
I didn't even look at the date.
And then Saturday, there's Aston Villa against Newcastle United, Brighton and Hove Albion versus Fulham, Sunderland versus West Ham United, Tottenham Hotspur versus Burnley, and Wolverhampton Wanderers against Man City.
How many of those names did he mess up when he was saying them there?
No, that was pretty good. Wow.
I mean,
come on.
Yeah, the Wolverhampton Wanderers is a tough one.
You speak the Queen's English better than
I am from Boston. We did create English in Boston.
They're the Wolverhampton Wanderers, but they go by the Wolves. So it's interesting.
Work that out.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they even have like team names like that in European soccer? Like, is it Man United or is it the Man United?
Our team is Walsall FC, and they have a bird. We have a bird on the logo, but we're the Saddlers.
Right.
Because they make a lot of
because your
make a lot
coach's
of
last name
leather
is,
goods and saddles.
because your coach's last name is Sadler, so you just named it after him.
Exactly.
Which is insane. That's crazy.
So they have like 8 different names per soccer team here?
Whatever you want to be.
Nickname's a nickname.
Just be who you want to be.
Yeah, like Tommy, like TK.
TK,
like
it's just nicknames.
Kmart model.
Just whatever you want to be called.
Mr. Producer Man.
I mean, I can't believe
Mr.
You would be,
Leadoff.
oh my gosh. You look like a Kmart model today. You got your hair all done up.
Yeah,
you got that plaid shirt on.
Wow.
Flannel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
No, you look great, man.
Yeah,
you
I
look
appreciate
great.
that.
Can you distribute the headshots when you take them, please?
Yeah, I took special ones for
what
you.
What are they for? What are they for?
I don't know. What they said you need a headshot. I said
Nice.
okay.
Where's my headshot?
You have one already.
Is it like glamour shots? Or are they gonna like
the Christmas sweater? That's not a headshot, bro.
Mine to Mason are going to be holding up fingers at the same time.
Oh,
at
that's
each
not
other.
nice.
Yeah. So
Tommy, I take good care of you, man.
Come on.
I know I haven't taken you out to dinner in about a month, so I'm due.
Right, you're not flying him down
I
for
know.
Saturday night for the
thank
birthday
you for
party.
not calling me while I was sleeping. That shows love. Yes.
Yeah, it was. I was just being
I
kind.
called.
Yeah.
I called.
Mitch did call me
I did call.
actually, so he
I was
did,
worried.
I thank you for calling because you were concerned.
Wanted to make sure you weren't hammered at the bar.
No, I was. It was Wednesday.
Or
so
if he
feeling-
was, like,
Right, but it was
where did you meet up?
Celebration Burger Day.
Yeah, and you're from Cudahy. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, in the fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's wrap things up with Mason's extra points coming up. What do you, Mace? You got some?
I was about to bring it up. Like I was going to read a text that I got during the show, but I saved it for the extra points. So we'll dive into that.
Cannot wait. That's next.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today? It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nelles on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Oh, man, what a great show. It was awesome having Drew Wagner on. Our Brewers are rolling 12 straight wins. Go at 12 o'clock today. Are they giving them away at 12, or are they just announcing it?
Yeah, just the announcement.
Right. So announcements coming at 12.
Follow
George Webb,
your social
burgers.
media.
Yeah, if y'all get an extra one, just toss it our way. We'll enjoy it for you.
I'll put it in the mail.
I love Mitch's shirt. If you're not watching, follow us on YouTube. It's me. Hi, I'm the dad. It's me, Taylor Swift.
Album
just
number 12 coming out in October,
album's
baby.
coming out in October.
Let's go.
I'm scared because I'm probably going to have to go to a Taylor Swift show in the future with all the girls that I have in the house.
What? Let's do it. Let's get a Crosby
let's
Thunder
just go
mess
Swiftie.
around.
Yeah. Hopefully she comes through Milwaukee and we can pop up there. That would be awesome. So Mama Crosby was listening earlier, as I it is Middle Child Day.
Love Mama
National
Crosby.
Middle
Love
Child
you,
Day.
Casey.
So she sent me a text and she said, Happy Middle Child Day, and then she said, bless your heart. Listening to your show, hate life was so rough for you as a middle child. And then she said, we do love you, Jason. Classic.
So good.
Mom,
so good.
Thank you, Mama Crosby. Thank you, Mom, for making sure that I go back to counseling and make sure I deal with all these demons from being the middle child. But I do awesome. Appreciate it's just my upbringing. It was awesome, and it's I love the birth order. I love kind of diving into that and trying to figure out if those things are real, if it's kind of where you see some some of the data on all right, here's your birth order. Do your kids kind of fit into those molds, and where do they kind of break out? So have an awesome Middle Child, National Middle Child Day. We're just crushing it here. I did want to ask this question. I've been wanting to ask it all show. In the Brewers, or not in the Brewers, sorry, in Wisconsin sports, of the three major sports teams.
Sure.
Who what's the birth order for those teams?
Oh.
What would you say?
The Packers are one.
Right. The
Packers are the oldest child.
And then the Bucks are just older than the Brewers.
Can we just say the Badgers so that we can have an
excuse?
But
how do you think they're viewed, right?
Oh.
It's more just who operates as more the middle and the youngest?
I feel like the Bucks operate as the middle child.
Ooh, yeah. I was going to say the youngest.
I was going to say the Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say Bucks are probably middle child.
I think the Brewers are the forgotten middle child, and the Bucks are the new exciting thing. They're the baby. When this town is jumped, they are very fair weather, it feels like, with their fandom. Not you specifically who's listening. But
almost surprised when the Brewers, it's the Brewers do it really well.
Right.
Oh,
you know what
surprising.
I mean?
They're in the middle. I can see that.
Brewers are the middle child based on how it's acting, for sure. For sure.
They're
getting a little bit of recognition right now because they're doing well. We remember the Brewers are in this town.
We remember now.
Well, but I think statewide, the Bucks are completely overlooked and completely forgotten about. And so citywide and statewide are two very different questions when it comes to the Bucks.
The Green Bay Phoenix,
but they're gonna kind of show out. They're doing more moves. They are making moves. I would say I had to kind of agree with Tommy on this one. I think the Bucks are the baby, right? Where it's all right, let's kind of go and do something exciting. We do whatever we want. They kind of just can flashing lights and just
UW River
get crazy.
Falls. That's the middle child.
River Falls.
Yeah. UW Stout. No one remembers about them.
Where does Badgers football land?
They're adopted out of the family at this point.
No.
I mean,
they are not.
Badgers football, get rid of them. 1-11 this year.
They're 1-11.
Did you
Yeah, you did.
Mason?
After our conversation, he said they'll win 3, and then he goes out and tweets that they might barely win 1.
Shout out
against Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Middle Tennessee State. They're right down the road in Murfreesboro.
Sounds like you are already counting the Badgers out. Now they're on 12, according to you.
I'll go check them out tomorrow night. Nolan's playing a scrimmage down there in Murfreesboro.
I'm going to go sit in the corner and cry.
I'll go and check them out.
I'm going to go sit in the corner and cry right now.
Okay, oldest.
Yes.
Only.
Yeah, that's right. He is Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, iHeart app, Odyssey app, and YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Boom.
I was